My husband vanished. His secret life turned our world upside down. The kids were restless, continually asking, "Where's Daddy?" And then I said the words. I used to live a life of routine, family, friends, and the occasional bump in the road. But nothing prepared me for the day my husband, Mark, vanished. His unexpected return unveiled a world of secrets, plunging my family into a whirlwind adventure, making us question everything we once held true. If you're curious about how a seemingly ordinary family navigated the dark underbelly of crime, deception, and revenge, I invite you to delve into our journey. What you'll find might just change your perception of the people around you forever. My name is Anna, and this is my story. It was a crisp Tuesday morning when I woke up to find the left side of my bed cold and empty. Initially, I assumed Mark, my husband of 7 years, was already up and about. However, as the day wore on, I noticed his phone, wallet, and car were still in their usual spots. The unsettling feeling in my gut grew stronger, my evening panic completely taken over. The kids were restless, continually asking, "Where's Daddy?" Holding back tears, I always replied with, "He must be busy. He'll be back soon." However, soon turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. No calls, no texts, no notes, no nothing. Just pure silence. The police were of little help. With no evidence of foul play, they marked him as a voluntary missing person. My heart shattered. How could the love of my life, the father of our 3 children, leave without any explanation? Every day was a challenge, all while battling the betrayal and anger boiling inside me. How could he do this to us? But amidst the despair, there was a glimmer of hope, a burning desire for closure, and an inkling of revenge if he had chosen to desert us. Fast forward to a year later, I had returned from a long day of work, kids in bed. My heart raced as I recognized the familiar handwriting. It was from Mark. "Dear Anna, I don't expect forgiveness. I don't even know if I deserve a chance to explain myself, but if you're willing to hear me out, meet me at the old tree house we built together tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock p.m. Mark." I read the note over and over, each time feeling a mix of anger, pain, and hope. The audacity of this man to disappear for a year and then waltz back into our lives as if nothing happened. Oh, he was going to get what was coming to him. The kids, sensing something was off, asked, "Mom, what's that?" "Is it from Daddy?" my eldest daughter Ella asked me. I hesitated, thinking of the best way to shield them from more pain. "It's nothing, sweetheart, just a note from an old friend." That night, sleep eluded me. My mind raced with different scenarios. Was he in trouble? Was he remorseful? Or was this another cruel trick? And then there was the burning desire for revenge. The pain he inflicted on our family was immeasurable, and I wanted him to feel a fraction of the anguish we had been through. A plan began to form. I was going to give Mark a taste of his own medicine, make him realize the weight of his actions. But first, I needed to meet him, to hear his side of the story. The day dragged on. Every tick of the clock felt like an eternity. As 5 o'clock p.m. approached, rage and anticipation wired within me. I left the kids with my neighbor and headed to our old tree house. He was there. He had lost weight and had a ruggedness to him that I hadn't seen before. "Anna," he whispered as I approached, his voice filled with sorrow. "I thought you'd never come." Little did he know that I was there with a plan, a purpose, and revenge was its name. The hollow look in his eyes did nothing to soften the stone my heart had become. The kids' endless nights of crying, the bills piling up, and my sleepless nights flashed before my eyes. "Anna, I'm so sorry," he began, but I cut him off. "Sorry? Do you think saying sorry now will fix everything?" My voice trembled, not just with anger, but with the weight of the suppressed emotions from the past year. "Where were you, Mark? Why did you leave us?" Mark looked down, taking a deep breath. "I can't justify my actions, Anna. I made a terrible mistake, but I had my reasons." I laughed, a bitter sound. Reasons? What possible reasons could make a man abandon his family without a word? He looked up, his eyes pleading. "It's not as simple as you think, Anna. I had no choice. I was trying to protect you all. Protect us, by leaving us alone, vulnerable, and broken. Protect us, that's rich." Mark hesitated, taking a moment to gather his thoughts. "Anna, I got involved with some dangerous people, and I became privy to information I shouldn't have known. Staying would have put you and the kids in danger. I thought distancing myself would keep you safe." While a part of me wanted to believe him, the anger and pain still burned. "So, you played hero and left us to fend for ourselves. You could have at least left a note, something. Instead, you left a gaping hole in our lives." Mark's voice was heavy with regret. "I know, and I can never make up for it, but I'm here now, and I want to make things right." That's when my plan for revenge kicked in. "All right, Mark, you want to make things right, here's what you're going to do." My revenge was simple but effective. Mark was going to experience the same loneliness, fear, and uncertainty that we had faced for the past year. For the next month, Mark would live in the treehouse, cut off from the world. No phone, no contact, no comfort. He would get a taste of what it felt like to be isolated. Every weekend, I would visit him, my heart a mixture of satisfaction and lingering pain. As I walked away, I couldn't help but feel a pang of satisfaction. This is for the kids, I thought to myself. He needs to understand the pain he caused. Over the next few weeks, each visit revealed a man more forlorn, but each visit also rekindled a spark. Though I only wanted him to feel the pain, I found Mark feverishly scribbling in a makeshift journal on week 4. He looked up, his eyes filled with a mix of pain and determination. "Anna," he began, "I've been writing, reflecting on everything. I'm beginning to realize the gravity of my mistakes. I want to share this with you, my reflections, my regrets." His words struck a chord, and I found myself torn between my thirst for revenge and the lingering love I still felt for the man before me. The path of revenge had taken an unexpected turn, one that I hadn't foreseen. Week 5 was when things started to shift. The plan was clear: make Mark feel what we felt. But every weekend as I climbed up to the treehouse, what started as a simple way to make him understand the pain he caused turned into a transformative one. His writings painted vivid imagery of our past, our shared joys, all intertwined with his deepest regrets. He shared stories from his journal. Day 28. Every day I wake up to the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves in this treehouse. "Anna, I dreamed of our first date last night, the laughter, the stolen glances. Waking up to this reality feels like a nightmare. I understand now, more than ever, the magnitude of my mistakes." The anger inside me began to dissipate, replaced by a myriad of emotions. Memories flooded back: our first date, the birth of our children. The weight of my revenge suddenly felt heavy on my shoulders. One evening as I approached the treehouse, he was drawing our family. The raw emotion captured in that rudimentary artwork was palpable. "Anna," he said without looking up, "I've realized that living without you and the kids, even for this short period, is a fate worse than death. I feel a loneliness that's deeper than the physical isolation of this treehouse." His voice trembled. "Every day I see the kids playing in the backyard from this tiny window. It has been torture, but it's a pain I've earned." My heart ached. The revenge that once felt so justified now felt misguided. But if he was really trying to protect me, why did he get involved with these dangerous people in the first place? One day he handed me a folded piece of paper from his journal. It was a letter that addressed those questions. "Anna, I never meant for any of this. It started innocently enough, a business venture with an old college friend. Little did I know that they had ties to criminal syndicates, and I inadvertently became a witness to their illegal activities. I overheard plans, dangerous ones, and when they realized, I knew. My instinct was to protect you. But in my panic, I chose flight over fight. Every day I spent away was agony. The guilt consumed me, but the fear of those men finding you held me back. I thought staying away would keep you safe. Now I understand it was the worst mistake of my life." Mark spent the weeks not just atoning for his errors, but in making clear that he was ready to rekindle our bond. My revenge had set us on a path neither of us had expected, a path of understanding, healing, and redemption, but the journey was far from over. Mark's revelations about his entanglement with a criminal syndicate shocked me to the core. The weight of fear and insecurity from the past year now had a name. But the more pressing question was if he was telling the truth, and if he was, weren't we all in danger? He gazed out from the treehouse's tiny window. "I've thought of that, too," he admitted. "But I made sure to leave them with the strong impression that I wouldn't spill their secrets. They believe that if they leave our family alone, their operations remain safe." The very idea that we were bargaining our safety against the secrecy of a criminal empire was terrifying. But Mark had a plan. He had a lot of time to think after all. I reached out to an old contact, someone trustworthy from my college days. I've sent him everything I know, anonymously of course. If things go according to plan, they'll be rounded up soon, and we won't have to live in fear. As days turned into weeks, without revealing his identity, news started trickling in about arrests and raids on syndicate hideouts. The web of crime started to unravel, and we dared to hope. But revenge has a funny way of looping back to where it started. My actions, designed to punish Mark for his absence, had inadvertently put us on a collision course with a dangerous criminal empire. And while we reveled in our newfound hope, we knew that the conclusion was imminent. I began to notice unfamiliar cars parked at a distance, men in sunglasses watching the house. Paranoia gripped me. Had they connected the dots? Was Mark's cover blown? One afternoon as I played with the kids in the garden, an unknown number flashed on my phone. "Do you think you can hide from us?" a distorted voice threatened. "You'll regret it." Fear clawed at me. I turned to Mark and saw a somber expression on his face. He had overheard the call, but amidst the fear, an idea sparked. What if we turned the tables one last time? Together, we have to play their game, to outsmart them, he proposed. Mark sent out a message, one that indicated he had more information than he had previously shared and was willing to cooperate. The evening was tense, The quiet of the night was broken by the sound of approaching vehicles. Headlights flashed, silhouettes approached, and then all hell broke loose. Law enforcement agencies swooped in, catching them off guard. It was a dangerous confrontation, but it was one we had carefully planned. In the aftermath of the takedown, Mark's anonymity was preserved. He had played a pivotal role in bringing down a major crime ring, but that was secondary to our primary victory. Our family, once fractured and lost, was whole again. But was our journey truly over, or were we merely at the cusp of another adventure? Only time will tell. The next few months were a dizzying whirlwind. As a family, we took a collective decision to move. It wasn't just about evading remnants of the syndicate but about outrunning the specters of our past, a fresh start. Life in the countryside was different. Mark took up a teaching job in a local community college, and I started a small online business. Our once fractured lives were mending, though there were moments when the weight of our shared history would crash down on us. Memories of our past. One evening as Mark and I sat on our porch, a car approached in the distance, headlights beaming. Did they find us already? I thought. But then a familiar face stepped out, someone who had helped us the most during this nightmare, Brian. I'm afraid you are not fully in the clear yet, Brian began, his face grim. Some of the syndicate's members evaded arrest and they're regrouping. They might not know where you are now, but they're looking. Mark's face fell. I thought we were done with this. What do we do? Brian's face lit up and said, we just need something more, a final piece of evidence to put them away for good. The leader, the one truly pulling the strings, has been elusive. Mark leaned in, urgency in his eyes. What do you need from us? Brian responded, a chance to catch him. If Mark agrees, we will ensure your safety, of course, but if this works, it'll be the end, forever. I felt a shiver run down my spine. The thought of putting our family in danger again, was unbearable. With a heavy heart and after many discussions, it was time for one last game of cat and mouse. Brian's team meticulously planned the operation, ensuring layers of protection around Mark and our family. The chosen location was an old warehouse. I insisted on being close, hiding in a surveillance van with Brian. The night of the operation was agonizing. From the van I watched Mark and Brian as a lone figure walked into the warehouse. Hours dragged on until finally, a limousine pulled up. With a hidden camera I could see the face of the final man, his face hidden by shadows. As they conversed, the warehouse was rigged, with hidden exits and secret entrances. Suddenly a cloud of smoke in the area. Through the haze, dark shadowy figures appeared and surrounded Mark. Shots were fired. My heart leapt. Where's Mark? I thought, panic flooding me. After what felt like an eternity, the smoke cleared, and Mark emerged from the smoke. Beside him, handcuffed, was the syndicate leader, a face I never expected. It was Mr. Thompson, our neighbor from our old life. Brian emerged from the van with Victoria's smile on his face. We got him. The following months saw the syndicate crumbling to the ground with their leader in custody and most of their operations exposed. Mr. Thompson's arrest made headlines. Our life returned to its peaceful rhythm. The scars of our past remained but faded with time. We became local heroes with our story of resilience and love turning into the stuff of legends in our small town. The past shadows receded and we could overcome any storm. Now that you've heard my story, I'm desperate to know. Do you think I handled the situation correctly with Mark? Was my initial plan for revenge justified, or did it go too far? I'm struggling to process everything that happened, and I truly value your honest opinions. Please share your thoughts and let me know if you believe I made the right choices, all things considered. I'm open to any and all feedback, as I'm still trying to make sense of the whirlwind that turned our lives upside down.